Go see what his actual decklist was. Because I think this is actually somewhat modified from...
Just like on 4 Snapcaster Mage, no win cons?
I believe so. Let me just double check. So Cuneo had 1 Baneslayer Angel in his main deck. Oh, he also has... No, he doesn't have Entreat the Angels either. So it's just 3 Jace the Mind Sculptors and 4 Snapcaster Mages as the main deck win conditions, which I think is pretty awesome.
There's a search for Azcanta in the main too, right?
Yes, there is. So instead of the Baneslayer Angel, I'm going to play an Entreat in the sideboard. It's going to be a stand-in.
Imagine you'd bring Baneslayer in the mirror.
I mean, it's a creature.
It is a creature. And Jace bouncing a Baneslayer seems pretty fun.
It does. It seems pretty... That would feel pretty miserable.
Feels almost good as Caracasing a Lyra.
Indeed. So he also had a Marsh Flats and an Arid Mesa split, and I am not doing that.
I don't think that matters that much.
I think it's actually actively incorrect to do so. The reason being that I think it's more important to bait out the fact that I might have red in my deck if I don't, versus just
for sure,
just having the one point of misdirection that it might end up mattering at some point. I just think that's actively like inhibiting.
Is he all Scalding turns too?
No, he's got 2 deltas, 1 Misty. Because he's only playing 3 blue fetches.
Okay. Yeah, he's playing like a million islands.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, on 3 planes.
Yes. I don't really like that much either, to be honest. Counterspell, Spell Pierce, Surgical Extraction, Gideon. What is the 1 card I'm missing 2 cards. I'm missing... Sorry, I'm just Decklist checking here. Counterspell, Clique, Flusterstorm.
You had a Counterspell on the sideboard, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing I kind of like to do with Miracles.
That's what it is.
Those are creatures too. Do you bring those in?
Maybe. I'm not sure. That's a great question. It's definitely possible.
I think it's pretty bad versus Monastery Mentor.
Yeah, that's true. If it was like 2012, 2013 Miracles, I might, but otherwise we're not gonna. Okay, we're ready to record with Andrew Cuneo 75 from GP Richmond. I don't have a Baneslayer Angel on Magic Online, so we're just gonna play and Entreat the Angels and try our best to evaluate the cards similarly to Baneslayer Angel in the mirror match. It might cause some wonkiness. Actually, would it be better to have this be another Gideon?
I think you should put a Lyra in, just so my 3 Caracases in my board have something to bounce.
No, I'm gonna play the Entreat and see how much of a difference it makes, I suppose.
Yeah, that seems fine. I don't think that deck really wants Mentor.
Oh, I agree. I think Mentor would be, as a one-of, I think it's pretty relatively low impact.
There's so few cantrips.
Yeah. Having 10 and 3 predict is not ideal by any means. So this hand is a hand of magical cards. I think I have to keep this in the dark, basically no matter what.
My hand's kind of weird, but I would keep it. I don't have a cantrip for the first turn. Otherwise, our hand's pretty solid.
We're looking for 1 card, but specifically here. That's among the cards we're looking for. Don't F6, don't F6, don't F6.
No, you're good, you're good.
Alright, excellent. So we have some options here, but I think I want to wait a turn.
So, in your expert opinion, out of all of these draft islands, which is the best?
I'm partial to these ones because these are the ones I think I first got when I got my Magic Online account.
Nice.
But I'm not 100%
Mine were
certain.
whatever islands automatically went into my deck when I.
So we're gonna lead off with this. That's excellent. These are all cards that we want. Which card do we want the least? Probably this. The first AK. So the clock has started. I think another thing of note to note here is that AK has like not mattered at all.
Yeah, AK has not been impressive at all.
And I'm kind of surprised by that because most of my testing that has been done with AK has been quite the opposite.
So, yeah, our games have been a game that is dictated by threats. And neither of us have run out of threats.
Correct. So I'm glad that I set things up the way I did. This is going to resolve. This probably means he's going to fight over basically whatever removal spells we play. But I think that I'm fine with that being the exchange. Yeah, I kind of assumed this would happen.
It's making me pitch a card.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with this exchange. This is gonna kill us next turn. Unless something completely egregious happens, which it could. I'm playing this though. I don't really want those cards, but I definitely want the one below it. So this might mean a Jace. It definitely looks like it is. Judgment, okay.
Yeah, we really don't want the search for Azcanta to stick. Bot where we just want to beat him to death before he answers our monks.
And then the judgment does both of those things. Alright. So this might be a bit dicey, but we'll see. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and run this out.
Yeah, we're totally fine with that.
I'm trying to decide what I want to do here.
You don't know the top card, do you?
I do. Actually, I'm trying to remember what it was.
This is a problem I have all the time
on Moto specifically.
With miracles. Yeah, the last card down is you're just like racking your brain.
All right, 1 second. I'm gonna pause the recording and check. All right, we're back. I know what the top card is.
I don't know what the top card is.
Even though this would actually be totally reasonable in this specific situation, there are too many cards that would cause problems from this spot for me. So I'm fine with predicting this away. Predict has looked extremely impressive in these games because the burst card draw. I think that's kind of indicative of just how this format is right now. So he's going to draw 2. So these monks are going to be some trouble for sure. But we have plenty of removal to find in our deck. Which is not a shuffle, which probably means another set of cantrips or a land. So Hindsight here, of course, means this back to basics may have been actually insane, but I think there are a multitude of ways in which that could have gone wrong for us.
Back to basics is way too variance heavy in the mirror.
Yeah. So I could do one of like several things here. I could do this on this, but I don't necessarily know if we need to quite yet. I'm gonna try it though. Oops, I mistapped there. Ugh, this might bite us. I'm gonna see how smart I am.
Targeting me? Oh,
Okay, that definitely bit us, by the way, because we would definitely want to cast this now. Unfortunate. So this game could have been winnable if we had sequenced this thing a little bit differently. Okay, so you have the Jace in hand.
top actually.
Wait, did I not predict you? Oh, you had it one card down?
Oh, I had it in my hand. When I cantripped on my turn,
Oh, sure.
it was Jace and 2 other cards, and I decided to keep for exactly what happened there. You predicting me.
All right, so that's what I'm kind of afraid of. So we need to find basically Terminus here. We're in a fairly rough spot.
Yeah, being able to pressure your opponent is huge in the mirror.
Yeah. Well,
not able to cantrip for full value.
Well, we found the Terminus. Let's hope this resolves.
Happen.
Okay.
We're just getting a 0 for 1.
And we're hoping this resolves also. Oops, I mistapped. I tapped 1 additional mana. Alright, well, we will fight on. But things do not look good.
I'm trying to target myself with Ponder or Preordain.
Portent, you mean? Yeah, yeah, sorry.
No, I usually play the Portent. I have been for a while, so.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna try this one more time. That worked, okay. Great. Snapcaster Mage. And this is going to target probably the AK, so he's going to draw 2 again. You know the top cards of your library, so I'm going to do this.
Actually don't know the top cards because
it was a preordain.
Bottom both of them.
Yeah. So Ponder, okay. So this is unfortunately going to resolve. We wanted to stick this before this his Snapcaster Mage resolved because we wanted to make sure we were able to trade if we needed to.
Yeah, the reason we Snapcastered there is it's a huge threat, him being at low life total. And we have another Jace in our hand, and we wanted to Mage out of his hand before
the Jace
we played it because he has Judgment.
So for considering our opening hand was 5 lands, a Swords of Plowshares, and a Portent, this game has gone about as well as can be expected, I think. Though the Portent did dig us to find some very important cards. Mentor, sure. So we still have a bunch of removal in our deck. So the thing to note from this game, I think, is the fact that our mana base kind of came to bite us a few times, or rather the sequencing that I made based on the mana base. We're probably going to die.
Yeah, the single planes is really tough. With it in mind at all times.
Or the single Tundra, rather.
Sorry, yeah, single Tundra, triple planes.
All right,
Triple planes is also supernova.
It is, but now unfortunately we are dead. We were hoping this resolved without any issues. All right, so now let's play the actual interesting game.
Yeah, game 1 in the Miracle's Mirror is notorious for being pretty boring. One side almost always just has to kind of sit there.
And yeah, the other side just runs away with it. Yeah. So we're going to board out the majority of our removal once again for all of the good cards. In this configuration, I don't know if I can cut up planes because of the way the fetch lands kind of work themselves out to be, which is a little awkward. Like
a white fetch plan, but I don't know if that's right either.
I'm considering it, but like you said, it's so tough. A lot of these cards are just not that good. No, I think I am going to do this. I'm going to cut down a land and board in all of these. And again, this Entreat the Angels is a comparison to Baneslayer Angels, so we'll see how like the pros and cons of those two cards kind of come up.
Important thing to note is that he saw our volcanic island.
Yep. And
we saw 6 islands.
And 3 planes.
3 planes. So we pretty much know definitively he's on a blue-white list or just like a really bad list.
All right, so we're unfortunately mulliganing. We're going to keep this on top of our library, though.
Hand is good, but doesn't have cantrips, which has really been
kind of what's been going on lately on your side of things.
Not having 12 is really a pain.
Well, you have 11, and I don't think statistically speaking there is actually a difference between the two, or a perceivable difference, and I think that's kind of a thing that Jarvis has always kind of told me about. Like,
oh yeah, that's fair. I thought we had 10.
You might have 10. I'm not sure. I think Keaton's list has 11 though.
It's 11. Yeah, it's 3 Preordain.
So I'm gonna do something wonky here, and I think this telegraphs basically what I'm doing to him as well. But I'm gonna fetch first and then cast Brainstorm.
This is setting up Counterbalance? Or no, setting up Predict, I'm sorry.
It could be both, yeah. That's basically what it screams.
We're just gonna let this resolve. We don't really care. No reason for us to waste good cards on his Brainstorm that's not setting him up for anything.
Another thing to note when I was sideboarding is I would have liked to leave in more removal than I actually did, honestly, because your mentors are predicated by more 1 CMC spells than mine, than basically any way for me to play over the top is, well, or rather would be normally. So this to me is basically screaming Reb or Flusterstorm. So I'm just gonna do this. So this is probably Red Elemental Blast.
We're okay with this here. Just trading 1 for 1 is alright.
So we don't want this card, and we do want this one.
It's a little bit unnerving playing 2 high value cards.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. Fortunately, we didn't make him fetch, which was kind of what we were trying to do.
Alright, so we have to kind of hope and pray that he doesn't immediately just slam a Mentor and then Red Blast our search, because that would be the worst possible situation here. I could have chosen to play a bit more conservatively. Looks like that might be what's happening, or a Jace. Okay, that's fine. I could have chosen to play this a little bit more conservatively and cantripped instead, but I wanted to get the search onto the table as quickly as I possibly could, because it is flipping next turn.
Yeah, search is really good in the fact where you only need a 1-turn window for it to kind of go off. Like, I have no answer for search.
Alright,
while it's super slow, it's super powerful.
Now this is a game.
And now we're gonna...
Yeah. Him fetching the island there is a little odd. That means he likely has another land within his hand at some point to go get another blast effect. So I'm gonna let this out. I'm gonna fight over this. This probably means Flusterstorm or Pierce. Both of which we can beat the Pierce, but we can't necessarily beat the Flusterstorm from this spot. But I'm trading as much as I possibly can. I think Search plus Jace will pull me ahead if I win. If not, Search at least keeps me afloat. Yep, that's the Flusterstorm we knew that we can't beat regardless.
He currently has 2 sources of card advantage to R1, so we really want to try and get... Let's target your search for Azcanta there.
It's a legal target.
It is in fact.
Alright, so we know what's at the top of our library. We're gonna go ahead and draw it. We're just gonna pass.
One thing we want to do here in the face of Search for Azcanta is try to pressure his mana, and make him respond to stuff we're doing now. That way he can't use it to draw cards.
So this probably means he's going to slam something. Whether that something is, it remains to be seen. I'm guessing it's going to mean a Monastery Mentor. Or not quite as threatening Preordained. I think he's just looking for something to slam. Counterbalance would also be very good. Top bottom. Most likely means that this Preordain was probably found with the previous Preordain, because I don't think you're keeping anything on top unless it's helping you look for the action that you need. Top bottom again. So either a Brainstorm or a Ponder was kept. Perhaps another Preordain, but not likely. So we're gonna start off with this, because I don't think our top card can outmuscle potential Rebs and so on. So Pierce.
This is kind of weird here. It's alright for us to Pierce because then he can't counter or activate Search for Azcanta. Kind of low impact card in Pierce for a potentially good card from him.
the reason I'm doing this and paying for it rather than I just want, I value the card quantity quite a bit. So we're gonna main phase activate to look for, well, this place. So this is probably a Snapcaster for a Pierce. Sure.
Yeah, this kind of does both of the things we're trying to do here, which is pressure him, stopping him from landing a permanent.
Alright, we're just gonna pass back now.
We'd probably never make that play if we knew, if he could have Red Blast in his deck.
Agreed.
Made the Jace first, but it's fine since we know he doesn't have it.
So all of this basically is kind of hinting on the downside of what I think of Search for Azcanta is that it's slow, and your opponent then does this where they just jam. Because
It's
they
so
have
slow.
to.
If you're ever forced to do it on your turn, it's like abysmal.
Yeah.
Once you start getting behind, you're kind of forced to.
Yeah, I thought that was comical. So we're gonna die next turn almost assuredly. They know his top card. Unfortunately, none of this does it. Okay, well, let's hope he doesn't kill us. Okay, that's the first one. So that just clears the top card of his library on this turn. So the Jace sees 3 new cards. Did you find a spell?
I have a lot of spells.
Okay, alright.
I'm just setting my top card.